What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with another video at those 10s and 20 views. I made a change of mind. I was going to do a whole video on why I think Shedeur Sanders fell, and it's just as I was filming it, it's just like I could just see the auto hate generating because I've been trolling on the internet. And so basically, I'm going to sum it up in just this quick thing. It has nothing to do with racism, it has nothing to do with collusions, only about 17 needs to draft a quarterback. It had more to do with the fact that Shedeur Sanders is a less physically gifted Johnny Manziel. Both 6'1", both roughly 210 pounds. Shedeur is the better pocket passer, but Manziel is the better athlete all around. Don't believe me, their stats are similar, their heights are similar, but the only thing is Manziel dominated in the SEC where Shedeur Sanders struggled at Colorado. Moving on to today's video, which is I am grading the Panthers draft. I am also seeming like the only one who did not like the Panthers draft. I'm not going to be honest, sugarcoat. I did not like it. I don't think all the picks in general are bad, per se. I don't think they're all terrible. I am going to move myself over so I can have the graphics pop up to my right. The score will pop up above my head. So, yeah. The big thing is this draft as a whole, I'm going to give a C to. As it's just the whole picks, everything in general about this draft is a C. I don't hate any pick. I just think that for what the Panthers needed and who was on the board, we missed out. So, starting off with the first pick of the Carolina Panthers, and that was Tetairoa McMillan. My initial reaction, first three picks I watched live, I gave kind of an initial reaction, and so they of course have changed throughout the time. My initial reaction to this pick was it's a C. I definitely think Carolina needed to address receiver in the draft. But when I look at... I gotta pull this up now. Duplicate. So that's why I have the better numbers. Yeah. Also, I can get the names correct. Yeah. Jalen Walker was on the board. We needed a linebacker. We needed an edge rusher. The dude's from the Carolinas. I just don't know why we didn't take him. And my now fully thought out opinion on this thing is this pick here is actually an F. I hate this pick. I hate this pick. Nothing against the kid. He could be amazing. He could be great. Xavier Legette. This is our wide receiver room right now as this point in time. Xavier Legette, who we drafted first round last year. Jalen Coker, unrestricted free agent that we signed last year. So they're both going into their second season. A very aging Adam Thielen. I get that. And now, Hunter Renfrow. Yeah, as of recording, we have come to terms with Hunter Renfrow. So, Adam Thielen, but slightly younger. And David Moore. Then you add in now Tetairoa McMillan, and I have his name. I just don't want to butcher it. Jimmy Horn Jr. How many receivers can we play in one game? Are we going to take up a good chunk of our 53-man roster with like 20 receivers? This is why I hate to pick. Jalen Walker was on the board. We should have taken him. We should have fixed the defense. You know, the biggest problem we had last year was giving up touchdowns late. Threw away the win against the Eagles because we couldn't stop a team with less than a minute to go. Threw away the win against the Chiefs because we couldn't stop anybody with less than a minute to go. And then we go receiver. And then we sign a receiver. that's why I gave this pick an F. Moving on to our second overall pick, we traded up. The trade itself, I give a solid A. The trade itself is an A. Panthers received the 51st, 85th, 122, and 108, and we only gave up the 57, the 74, 111, and pick 230. So we exchanged the same amount of picks. We moved up on 3 of them. So that's why it's a great trade. I loved it. And then we turn around and pick Nick Sorton. And my initial reaction to the Nick Sorton trade is I gave it a B. I liked it. I don't know enough about him to give it a solid A. I loved his video of him knocking all the hats off the table after the Panthers picked him. And it's like, all right, cool. We needed an edge. Jadeveon Clowney's on the other side. We got an edge. Unfortunately, this pick has been downgraded to a C. And it has to do with the fact that we picked another edge the very next pick. Again, we only put 2 out at a time. We have 3 on the field. We have 3 potentials. And it's not like Clowney played terrible. Moving on to, we did another trade. Also, we traded up for another edge guy. We gave a pick, we gave the 77th pick, gave up pick 85 and pick 164 to take Princely. Sorry, Princely, I cannot butcher your last name. I give this a C. It's going to stay a C, so that's that. He is, again, unfortunately, we just drafted an edge. We have the edge on roster, and we traded up for an edge. When we had a player on the board who was probably a bigger need, since we drafted Nick Soren, we could have grabbed safety. Xavier Watts from Notre Dame, arguably ranked the second to third best safety in this draft class, and not traded up and got him. Like, the trade was what? We gave up, we moved up, 12 spaces? Whatever it is, and gave up a pick. So we were pick, gotta keep pulling this up, 85. Pick 85 turned into the Chiefs drafting a corner. Yeah, we could have gotten Xavier Watts, who fell to pick 96, stayed where we were, and got a hard-hitting safety. So, yeah, that's why I want to see on this pick. It has a lot to do with the fact that we traded up to grab a defensive end just prior, and there's just as big of a need on the board, a better player on the board, and we already have Clowney, so we don't know what we're doing with that. The next pick was the 4th round pick of Lathan Ransom. Safety. It should be safety, yeah. No, wait, sorry, I missed pick. Trayvon Itany. I will learn your name. Trust me, if you look like someone I'm going to learn. I have given this pick, of course, gave it a B. Actually, I gave it a B. Try to give it a B. This pick would have been an A if we didn't sign Rico Dowdle. So again, Chuba Hubbard is our clear number 1. Trayvon looks to be more of a Christian McCaffrey type, quick, agile, jumpy type back, which is great. It's definitely the 1-2 punch of D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart type potential. I really do like it. I just don't like the fact that we now have Rico Dowdle. We paid him money, and it's like, cool. How we doing this? So yeah, if we didn't sign Rico Dowdle, would have gave this pick an A. Next up is defensive tackle. No, this is safety pick. Safety pick is Lathan Ransom. Safety, Ohio State. Did I get him? Yes, I got it. I give this pick a B. The only reason I give it a B is I think we should have taken Xavier Watts earlier. I don't hate it. The dude looks really good. That's why it's the only reason why it's not an A is I want to watch. Notre Dame fan. I think he's the better safety, but this dude can pan out, and oof, that could be our biggest steal of the draft. And it's only because personal bias on that one. Next up is that's facto Cam Johnson. Cam, I'm giving you a C, and that's because I went at Riley Mills. I don't know enough about Cam Jackson to say if he was better than Riley Mills. I watched a lot of Notre Dame games, and you can definitely see the difference between Riley Mills playing against Penn State and then the Ohio State game. It's like, ooh. Riley Mills and without Howard Cross, both in those games, you look at it going, oh, wow, that defense dropped. Cam Jackson could be great. I don't know. Don't know enough about him. I hope he's great. He looks to be more of a... I'm going to pull up his stats right now. Big body, 6'6", 328 pounds. Damn. I could really care less about his stats. Where's his bench? He didn't do the bench. Yeah, last year he had 11 sacks, 37 tackles, 11 for a loss, 100.5 sacks. Did not participate in. Riley Mills had better numbers, and he was a starter. That's why I want Riley Mills over his kid. He, like I said, he looks to be more of a run stopper, which is great going next to Derek Brown. I just think there was a better player sitting there that we should have grabbed. Next up is Mitchell Evans, Notre Dame. I am giving this pick an A. Yes, Notre Dame bias. I know. But we have Tommy Tremble. Love Tommy Tremble. Tremble's receiving is a B at best, C at times. He's more known for his blocking, which we can move him to fullback. I think that would be amazing moving him to fullback with these running backs. Evans is 6'5", 285 pounds. I don't really know how good was a good time for a 40 time for them, but the dude is big. He can catch. Granted, Riley Leonard was not the greatest thrower of the football, so it's like you can kind of see like he had. See, in 2023, 29 receptions for 423 yards, had a 14 yards per game and a touchdown. Played 8 games, missed 7, unfortunately, with an ACL injury. Probably why he fell. Last year, 43 receptions, most for Notre Dame, for 429 yards, roughly 10 yards per game, and 3 touchdowns. So, yeah. And it was like he was coming back from an injury and still put up tremendous numbers. I think you put him with Sanders, who I think might not be that tall. I think he's like 6'1", 6'2". I definitely our big body tight end, who probably will be the end of Tremble once his contract is up, is great. Also makes me hate that Tetero pick even more. There's a different big body receiver you can throw to. And last pick, and certainly not the least, is Jimmy Horn Jr. See, it's one of the things where it's just he's entering a super crowded locker room. I like a lot of stuff that he does bring, that speed, that run after the catch. I definitely think if this locker room was a lot less crowded, it'd probably be a great pick. But at the same time, it's like, we never drafted a linebacker. We never drafted a corner. So it's like, I think there was a better fit need out there, bigger need out there. So yeah, overall, I give the Panthers grade draft a C. Tell me what you think. Am I completely insane? Did Dan Morgan actually deliver? Also, these draft grades are completely BS, to be all honest. You don't know how good a draft class is going to be until, like, the end of their rookie contract, to be honest. But that is it. I'm going to do a draft grade for each team. Well, I'm going to do it by conference. So the next one up will be the NFC. Let's go AFC first. We'll go AFC East, North. There, we'll go never eat soggy waffles. We'll go NFC North on Thursday. That's it. That's all I have. I'll see you weird people later.